And again, welcome to Bit Depth. I'm Santiago Ramones. Across from me is one of my best friends since like 4th grade. Z, what's up?
Not much. Pretty good day. Recovered from being sick for the past 2-3 days. But I'm actually feeling good.
Cool. I guess like as a quick introduction to us, like we've like grown up together. Like,
yeah,
since 4th grade, you and I both moved, so we were both new kids.
Yeah.
To Ralph Downs.
I went from the PCO district house that was riddled with bugs. Went to the I know, right? I went to the PCN district where I didn't know anybody. Even then, I didn't really have many friends up until this point. I was more of a loner. Played video games most of my time. Brothers got me into it, got me hooked on it, and came to, what was it, Ralph Downs?
Yeah.
Yeah, in 4th grade, and just kind of met you, and you pretty much became my first legitimate friend and gave me a lot of the staples that affect my personality today. You also gave me the nickname Z.
Was that me?
That was you.
Oh.
That stuck.
Okay.
Forever in my life.
Well, I mean, that's a lot easier than
it is
saying Zeeshan or Bilal.
Or yes, or my whole name, which
yeah,
that's a hassle to say. The only people to ever get it right were like the Indian cafeteria workers.
Yeah.
So,
okay, so our good old, what do you do?
I just go to college, stressing out about that, trying to maintain my sanity.
What's your major?
Computer sciences.
Cool.
I've been trying to manage that, getting all that stuff and all that stuff done. But in my spare time, when I'm able to, I participate in video game tournaments around the state, going to multiple places, more Tulsa, or here in the city, playing Mortal Kombat, as many people would know what that is. I would hope. I play.
People know you as, or at least someone has said that you are the best Mortal Kombat X player in Oklahoma. However true that may be, I like to know that my best friend is the best MKX player in Oklahoma.
I don't like bragging, tooting my own horn, or doing any of that crap. And I know, and like, that's like the obligatory I'm about to toot my own horn sentence.
Well, yeah.
But I guess very much recently, that's kind of been what's happened. I just kind of came in playing MKX after going to my first tournament last year. I went 0-2, got destroyed, lost both my games. So, and then from that point on, I just kind of got better in an unusual way. Didn't practice. I more just played constantly and watched and mimicked players who used the same character that I used and just did what they did and understood why they did what they did and just rolled with that. And it came down to the point to where Super BitCon rolled around, and that was my second MKX tournament of ever. So I went to that, got third, surprisingly got third. Got the money from that, bought some posters, bought some cool art, and then a bigger tournament rolled around called Summer Madness, and that was where one of the bigger tournaments in Oklahoma is at the Waterford, and I ended up somehow getting what did I get at that? I think I got third again, and then after that, everyone just kind of started talking about me a little bit more in terms of like, who is this guy? Holy crap, he's gotten a lot better. He's really good. We didn't know about this guy. What, he plays on Xbox? What the hell's wrong with him?
Well, actually, it's just a superior controller. Come on.
I mean, both those D-pads suck ass anyways. But yeah. And ever since really then, I've been consistently placing first place and top 3 in most of the tournaments that I've been going to that take place in Oklahoma. And any Oklahoma player that really plays MKX, I guess, is at the state to where they can say, who were the top 3 in Oklahoma, and I will be brought up.
Cool.
Mostly as number 1 now. But when it comes to just where I range in the game, it's like there's so many people better than me that play from all over this country that I would love to keep playing and practicing against, because they could teach me how to be a better player. As I did meet one of the best Mortal Kombat X players actually a few weeks ago in Tulsa. Met him and a few of his friends. Yeah, I played against him. I got completely destroyed. He came up with a few Texas people. I got to meet a lot of them. They were really cool people. That was a tournament I got 4th in. Texas dude did win, but I'm not surprised. He is completely one of the best.
Yeah.
He is definitely one of the top 2 players in the entire game.
Yeah.
So yeah, hopefully that dude is in Texas doing all right. Dude's in the hospital right now, wishing him luck. He's definitely going through a lot of crap right now with his body, but we are all wishing him the best recovery possible. But
do you see yourself going to like Evo at some point?
I would love to go to Evo one day. I would love to do something major with my life using video games as the guide one day, whether it be playing competitively or just being a streamer or a podcaster or just a commentator. I would like to have video games in my life some way.
Yeah.
That doesn't include really making them. Grew up wanting to make video games a lot. I've been wanting to make video games a lot in my life, but some part of just seeing how it is now is just, I'm beginning to realize that maybe that's not the direction I want to take this, just because of how the industry is and how many people are and how many of the gamers are, and how being creative isn't the rewarding thing anymore, and microtransactions and AAA titles and just EA and Activision.
But at this point, we're at a point where people can make a living off of strictly being good at these games.
Yeah.
With Twitch streaming, especially providing an outlet for some of the best. I guess it really got big through League. That people are now able to make a living off of this stuff.
Yeah.
And that they don't necessarily have to make the games. And for you, honestly, like, that I greatly appreciate your skill and your admiration of constantly being involved in video games. And so for you, I think that is definitely a way for you to I really think you should pursue a career in that.
Right. Like, it's kind of crazy. My mom and my dad are even kind of saying that a little bit now. My dad was the first parent to really kind of push a little bit to really understanding what it is, because he comes with me to these. He's seen it. He's even put money into the most recent tournament I went to. Yeah. So he understands what I do. He sees this stuff. Yeah. He kind of understands it to a point. My mom just kind of supports me. She's never really seen it or gone to it. Yeah. So it's kind of nice. My family kind of just gets told about it every now and then. They're kind of like, I try to get as many people I know who are interested in it. I kind of tell them about things when it comes to fighting games. Why I picked fighting games over, say, shooters or MOBAs or all that stuff.
Which isn't to say that, I mean, you're also really good at shooters.
Yeah, all the Halo that I played, all that Halo really teaches you how to be good at shooters. You hit a point to where certain things just become natural, and you just hit a level where you're good at it. But yeah, I used to be shooters where I wanted to be good at, but now I've hit the point to where if it was a shooter or a fighting game, I would prefer those two. Definitely over MOBAs. If it was like a shooter, I would prefer to want to be good at something like Counter-Strike or Halo, being as Halo was like the first shooter I ever really got into. Woo. Thanks to you.
I've created a monster.
Yes, you have. You're actually the whole reason I got an Xbox and everything, because when I first met you, I was rocking a GameCube, playing some Beautiful Joe and Melee and all that stuff, you know? So, like, I got my first 360, back in like when it first came out for Mortal God, and
I was with you.
You were with me that day.
Your mom came in with it.
Yes, like we were playing Halo. She came in with the Live.
Yeah,
and like we were playing Halo 2 at the time, and I got Xbox Live, and we were just, oh my god, that dates back to so many years. So the fact that it's very funny that the community that I'm a part of, who grew up being made fun of, now can dictate a good chunk of our culture now. It's great. Saying I'm a part of it. I'm a part of a fighting game community, and like, for not being a part of any other community, really, I would like to say I prefer the fighting game community just over the other communities. Yeah, because it's more grounded. The players aren't like on this elevated status. They're like, they don't put these players on this like celebrity-esque pedestal. Like, they're still celebrities, or like fighting game gods, or like really good players in our eyes. They are, but they're not like elevated to feel that way. They're just kind of like there. It's because of things like, hey, the stage is right there, and we're not all scattered around. We're all really just in this row. Like, we can literally just talk to the players right after the match is over. Or just relax while we're watching the match up on stream on the screen, and it's like, holy crap. You know, we're just talking. It's like, oh my god, that was hilarious. This guy's about to get destroyed. It's it's things like that. They don't.
I also feel like with fighting games, exclusively from like shooters or MOBAs, I feel like there's more of a sense of like, maybe like mentorship. That like kind of like how you said earlier, that you kind of talk to some of these better guys, and that you could learn a lot from them. They would teach you. And I feel like that kind of comes a lot from rather the fighting game community rather than shooters and stuff, which is kind of more like, get wrecked, noob, or whatever.
Wow. Okay. So I would definitely say, compared to MOBAs and shooters, when it comes to fighting games, you can definitely mentor. You can definitely mentor people, tutor them, train them to get better, help them discover a playstyle and what character fits them. Or, for instance, like, I could play the same character as another really good person who's potentially better than me with that character. They can give you advice. They can tell you, hey, here's some stuff I found that works on this character and this character, or this is a universal way to stop this character from ever getting away from your pressure. I've had a few of those instances, and it's there, that level of tutorship is there in fighting games more than any other game. I would say for shooters it's next, but like fighting games, it's a lot more grounded, because there's not the game mechanics, all you have to understand, and then after that it's just your opponent, and it's not like weapon spawns or positioning on the map. It's more of just like positioning on the screen and not this huge 3D environment. It's just, and positioning on the screen is a lot easier, I would say, to take in. And a lot of the stuff in fighting games, your teacher, if you have one, can pretty much engrave it into your brain more through muscle memory, and just tell you to practice these things every time a day. It's just you really can set the pace for the person you want to teach or learn, or the person you want to learn from. There's multiple ways a person can teach you on how to play a fighting game. It helps determine your style and everything.
Regarding sort of like your parents and stuff, and like, obviously I've been there whenever your like parents have brought you games or whatever. But at the same time, I feel like it's really hard for that generation to sort of understand what all of this really means to us. Because whenever you and I were young, like, I mean, there was a time when you and I could go back and forth and name all 50 plus fighters in MK Armageddon.
Yeah, we could. I think I can still do that now, actually.
We probably could, We're not going to, because we want you to actually listen to this podcast. But
some of you people might have not have ever gone that deep into the Mortal Kombat universe, because there's a lot of characters you'll just be like, who the hell is that? I don't remember him. He looks like Ken from Street Fighter. So we don't want to go into that. It's just
But
that mistake. He's dead now.
But anyways, what is it that, at least now, that what sort of got your parents to sort of start understanding like what that means? What sort of got your dad to go like, oh, like my son actually is really good at this?
He wanted to. I think it was because he found out I was winning a little bit of money, and the fact that he wanted to understand my hobby a little more. That was definitely the first step to it. I definitely got him interested a little more in my hobby when we went on our vacation to New Orleans last year for my birthday. I got a good amount of time during the car ride to the airport, to the Texas airport, to really just share my interest with them, show them a couple of streams, how it all got started, how it grew to this point, the people whose lives that fighting games and just professional gaming has changed overall. I was just able to really get him to understand that, and after a while he just kind of wanted to see what it was like with me, so I did. I kind of took him with me and showed him all of this stuff.
Yeah. And then at the same time, like, what do you think, I mean, maybe there's not going to be like a level of like, haha, I told you so, but what do you think that is like the future for gaming, at least for our generation?
Well, if our generation, it's just probably gonna, I could never really say. A lot of our players in all these scenes can turn into casters, to commentators, maybe even designers themselves to help make the next big competitive title. They could be the testers to really guide the next game into its place, but a lot of players from our generation might still be playing. A lot of other ones might just retire and support the scene in other ways that they can. Some might become sponsor holders and throw money into the tournaments and become businessmen of their own who understand the community, the scene, the growing aspect of it. But if the other question could be, where do you see competitive games going in the next few years? I would say that's up to the younger generation and how to get the younger generations to just step into this. And make it grow on its own. And because the older people aren't going to be there forever, they're going to have to help the younger generation just kind of step in and ease them into it. These people, went from playing Marvel versus Capcom 2 in the arcades on wasting all their change just playing each other, from Evo being held in oh my god, the university in California, I forgot what it was called, UCLA. It went from that to now being done in Mandela Bay, and like now that it's at this big point, it's like it can fall so easily if there's just a drought of new players, new blood to
or
keep
even
it
new
alive.
good players.
Or new good players, yeah. And that's something that's happening in Japan. A lot of the people in Japan have now hit the point to where they're like, we need to get the younger crowd in there. So one of the best players for Street Fighter in Japan has now started his own school for taking in the younger generation.
That sounds both really awesome and kind of lame at the same time.
No. Like I was going to say, holy crap, that's really lame, but I'm like, nah, I understand. They need a younger generation to get in there. And also, I saw those kids play. Those kids are monsters. So he flew a few of them out to Las Vegas so they could compete. And he was there right beside them as they played, giving them... So, like helping them out whenever they... Like, right before their match, giving them a little bit of advice. Yeah, him and his wife were supporting those kids. So, it's really cool, but like I can see why people call it lame. But at the same time, he's starting them young so they can kind of guide people more. So there has to be ways to get these kids into this,
especially now. Because you think of like the Asian like piano prodigy or whatever that like they started playing piano when they were like 3 years old or whatever.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there's almost more money in being a video game prodigy than being a piano prodigy anyways.
Yeah.
I mean, how much money are these Twitch streamers pulling?
Oh my god, these Twitch streamers, some are actually in it for the right reasons, some are actually doing good things, some of them are actually being great content creators, funny people, not even necessarily good at the game, they're just being good people. And then there is those who are good at the game or entertaining. It's like they pull a lot of money from the streaming and the donations. Look up a man named Maximilian Dude, who is one of the most loved streamers. He is very well known for fighting games, but if you watch his streams, he'll stream about a lot of things that keep his interest. But his channel is on YouTube. His YouTube channel is very fighting game heavy. He talks about fighting game news. He talks about his speculations, what he thinks should happen, how he feels about games, his reactions to games being announced. For those of you who are very well versed in the fighting game community, or at least know of a game called Killer Instinct, he is actually one of the people who supported that game when it was announced for the Xbox. He's one of the people who got it a little bit more notoriety and helped get that game a wider audience because he used his YouTube channel to spread word about one of his favorite childhood fighting games.
Yeah.
He is definitely one of the YouTubes that I think he is definitely someone who sets the bar. Is just an overall good person, good streamer who uses his donations wisely, and who just creates good content.
Yeah.
But you know, there are also people who make mad amounts of money off of YouTube for just being completely cancerous and overall shitty people, like Zoe Berger. Someone who just literally streams her playing Call of Duty poorly in a bikini and twerks every other donation, which it's very just sickening to me. I don't know how this is just supported, how she isn't banned, how she got banned off of Twitch, but YouTube doesn't give a damn. But like how she is making all this money to where she even made more than PewDiePie in a month.
Oh, jeez.
Just that's all she does, and she's like 21 too. She got a boob job. I don't get it. Like, she's making all this money now, and she's not doing anything except exposing her body. And then then they're the white knights who will defend her. Then you've got the whole being comfortable with your sexuality is empowering, that freaking double-edged sword.
Sure,
That nudity is empowering, and I'm like, that's actually the stupidest thing in the world, but I don't have the articulate skills to explain why being naked is... It's like, why being a slut... It's like people who, like, try to find the moral ground, but there's nothing wrong with being a slut, you know? It's like, the people who try to find that, I can't...
It depends.
It depends to the degree, yeah. But, like, this, I don't get it. I can't, like, you can't really support the way she's acting, but, like, people support it anyways, and it's like, people defend it, even other women, and it's just kind of like...
Yeah. Well, I mean, at least from the point of view of more of a, whatever the hell a true gamer is, that you know, the people that really enjoy the games really get into it for... you know, having this community and having this escape for entertainment, that I feel as though, that is a bit more of a degenerate ploy for money.
Very much so. It definitely gives girls who want to stream and actually try to take this somewhere a bad name.
Exactly.
Definitely.
There's
a few friends who want the support who can't really get it.
Yeah, there's a woman who works at IGN now. Her name is Alana Pierce, and she's actually a really good gamer. Like, she's actually really good at games. She's also very pretty, but that doesn't take away from the fact that
she's very good.
That she's very good, and she built up this following on YouTube, and now works at IGN. So, like, for someone like her to you know, have sort of this more legitimate sort of, hey, I'm a real gamer, and yes, I'm a girl, but like
there's professionalism here and not just stupidity. And, I'm not appealing to the, like, 12-year-old crowd. She's actually smart and knows what she's doing. And I get that. That's respectable.
Yeah. I guess last thing on this topic, how do you feel about the people who are able to sort of make a living off of YouTube, both via gaming and through other content, and how do you feel about, like, you know, at some point you might be doing that yourself. So I mean, what's your take on Markiplier, for example?
I don't even watch the guy. But if we're talking about Markiplier, we're kind of putting him in the same bubble as like people like PewDiePie, right? Where they kind of just play games and just help me out here. They just because
they also make content, and I've been watching some Markiplier quite a bit.
Yeah.
I don't watch PewDiePie, but the thing about one with Markiplier, he is one of the nicest dudes I've ever seen. He's a really nice guy. As opposed to some of the other people that I've seen on YouTube that, you know, maybe after reaching some success,
it's something. Yeah, they just kind of get a little level-headed, a little egotistical.
Yeah, and Markiplier had a wave of that, but he got pulled down back to earth.
Thankfully, yeah.
But so I mean, there is an extent to where, yeah, some of these people start out in gaming, but then they expand out to making other content. For you, what do you think your sort of model would be for YouTubing or at least streaming?
I would never know. I would love to start it off with gaming, make my channel very focused on gaming, but still do commentaries, just talk about experiences in life, how I see things, maybe even reviews if I can ever like articulately explain why I think Doom is better than Uncharted, or talk about why I think a lot of the things that I think, why I think there should not be a new Last of Us or a new God of War, or why I think Killzone is garbage. But like talk about all that stuff. Why I think Steven Universe, for instance, is one of the greatest shows on Cartoon Network right now. But I would definitely love to focus it on gaming and just whatever I can really, as long as gaming is the focus. I would like to sometimes dabble in other stuff. Yeah,
but that is really where the soul of a lot of these YouTube people began.
Yeah,
too.
Is making their videos.
Yeah. And do you see yourself expanding onto doing other sometimes dumb content that's just like, hey, we, you know, put ice down our shirts?
No. I say that now, but like down the road, who knows?
Yeah.
But like I don't think I would ever do that ice down shirt stuff, that like ice bucket challenge, cinnamon challenge, light yourself on fire challenge. Now the mannequin challenge has style to it. A lot of people can do something creative with that. That was pretty cool. But like really just things, just kind of dumb things in that nature. You know, I might do vlogs depending on whatever it is I'm doing. But for the most part, I would try to maintain it as a heavily gaming channel. I wouldn't want to do anything for the views. Yeah. Unless it's like just something, just kind of talking about something. Like if it's not about gaming, there has to be a reason I'm talking about it.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Very not good transition into our other thing.
We need a black screen, but this is audio, so how do you make it? What's the sound of a black screen?
Silence. All right, Z. So, what do you believe?
Religiously?
However you want to answer that question.
Well, growing up in a very growing up mixed, black Pakistani, I've had a Christian mother and a Islamic father. Having those two different views in your life, you really do get a taste for two different kinds of religions. Yeah. Different ways their churches functions, the different types of books, the way they both see God, and how one religion doesn't even have a image of God. Instead, they use calligraphy as a way to detail their God. I don't really have a view. I would say there's somebody up there. Yes, I would say there's a mystical force, but I don't believe he really guides in any real way. I believe he lets people do their own thing. I just feel as if, like, as you're longer, you're a good person and not really a complete scumbag to a certain degree. You will be you're fine. It's just religion is never really something that affects that I take into my life. I've got no issue with people who are religious unless people use their religion to put down other people. I hate the hypocrisy of religions, how people don't seem to acknowledge the cruelty that religion can cause and has caused. And the people who were saying, like, down with Islam don't seem to understand, like, Christianity was just as bad at a certain point.
Sure.
And how people don't seem to really have enough understanding or education of religions. Yeah, a lot of religions have some rules that are like, but it's just like, I don't believe those books are anything you go by literally.
Yeah.
Like, they're just kind of guides.
Yeah.
For most part, I just view love thy neighbor, love thyself, just be a good person overall, and don't be a dick.
Yeah.
That's how I view things. So when it comes to religion, it's just...
Yeah. Which is interesting because, I mean, since you don't have like a religious background for your morality, I still see that you have a very strong moral push, I guess, especially with what you've been saying right now, that like even with the like nudity thing or even with be a good person. So where do you think that comes from?
Probably a lot of the cartoons and video games of my life. Like, it just... A lot of cartoons sometimes they just gotta get a good message through. A lot of video games get a good message through sometimes, like movies and all that stuff, books. They all, comics. A lot of that stuff teaches you the morality that sometimes parents forget to teach.
Yeah.
Sometimes even music. It's there's a lot of external sources that don't include your family that can really guide your morality, moral compass. Not to say that I've got a strong sense of morality. I'm a fucking asshole, but like I have done some shitty things. But it's like it guides you to a certain degree. It's like you kind of, it just helps you develop this sense of what's right and what's wrong. You could do something wrong and know it's wrong and still do it. As long as you know it, like you know it's wrong.
Yeah.
That the sense of morality can just come from anywhere nowadays. And you just got to make sure you take your moralities right and make sure you have good sources and good people to tell you what's right and wrong.
Yeah.
Luckily, I had a lot of good things. That I just kind of knew what was wrong and right when I was growing up. So just understand complexities of morality. And the complexities of morality and like why people do things, why some people kill people for certain reasons, and how some people can just do it because they can. You just kind of begin to look at that person's point of view without ever having to be in that person's shoes and just kind of understand why. So, just, you know, morality as a whole, it's... But,
and at the same time, I mean, again, I've grown up with you, and so, like, I can see that people have treated you like shit. And unfortunately, I haven't been around a lot of the time to be able to help. Or,
you're good.
Like,
You're good.
But I mean, well, for one, why do you think people treat you like shit?
I don't know, bruh. I really wish I knew. It's... Oh, man, I could definitely tell I get irritating. I am very irritating to a degree. I understand that. But as a kid, I took a lot of stuff to heart very well, very personally, too. Anything my parents would say, anything people would say, it would just kind of, that kind of stuff just festers on your brain after a certain point, and you just kind of think about it. Honestly, though, I can definitely say I look like an easy target. I'm an easy target to a degree. But I'm like, because I even have friends who have to give me shit, you know, like, yeah, you've seen some of our friends just.
I mean, we all give each other shit, but we don't treat each other like shit.
But I just think I'm a very prime target. I try too hard to maintain social acceptance and social acknowledgement, which I would say, thank God, that's died down a little more because I've been able to notice it. I've had to kind of force certain habits of myself to go away from when I was growing up, but like. Just overall, I just kind of dealt with shitty treatment from a lot of people all the time in my life. And it's just, why? Again, I would say I'm an easy target. I set myself up for a lot of the treatment I get. I tried too hard to be socially accepted. But
I mean, at the same time, it's not like, because I mean, everyone wants to be accepted, right?
Exactly.
And so like, but I mean, with you, like, being an easy target, for example. I mean, like, are you a weird dude? Probably.
Damn straight.
But I mean, a lot of people are weird people, and I feel like they did it to you more. And for one, I take it personally because you are so close to me.
Yeah.
But like, it's also put you in a lot of shitty situations.
Yeah, definitely. It's put me in a handful of shitty situations in the context of life and in the context of my mind. It's just everything. It's all really brought up shitty positions in that regard. It's very weird because like it is very weird how in middle school that shit really kind of did hit a certain fan. I hated middle school, you know?
Yeah.
I really hated it.
Man, I think everyone did.
No, I despise middle school, bro. Like, for the reasons of, I did get treated like shit throughout middle school, man. That was definitely my year. Those were violent 3 years for me, for a good portion of it. I don't know really how to, like, I just didn't know how to handle it at the time. Because, like, that was the thing. There was a lot of difference between us. You were popular as hell in middle school, and I would say you were a lot more liked in school.
I don't know.
I would say you were. I don't know. You probably don't know. But compared to me, you were more liked in elementary and high school. You definitely were a more popular person. It was very weird that the way I would see you in high school and middle school, that we were best friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very weird because we just kind of had different social circles.
Yeah.
It was very weird, bro. But yeah, it's just I could never understand the really just the bullying aspect. I just had to kind of take it and deal with it.
Yeah, but I mean, like, well, why? I mean, there is a certain point where you didn't take it, and you came back out.
Yeah,
and that's the problem. That like, and I mean, we see this in society a lot more lately. That like, you know, there's the weird kid in the corner, and then one day he brings a gun to school, and then like. These assholes around you are really, they're making these people.
Yeah.
We as a society are making these people.
Yeah, we have, like, the society has the nerve to question, how did this happen? What the hell? Why didn't they talk to anybody when they probably looked for multiple options and they've never worked? The whole concept of you fight in your self-defense, you get suspended, or the teacher doesn't really do a damn thing to help the student who is getting picked on and needs someone to help them.
Yeah.
Counselors don't really give them any real guidance. Like, when violence is the only real option they have left, they can't defend themselves. So it's like, what do they do?
Yeah. And I mean, because I mean, whenever you were, especially in the situations where you, in a way, were forced to lash out, because I mean, I remember a specific situation where you had even warned them. Like, you had said, hey man, you're crossing a line.
Yeah.
And then they crossed that line.
And then...
So, I mean, what I guess, what teachers were there that would have helped the situation? What was wrong with the situation that caused that to happen? Not necessarily specifically, but like, what could have changed in the environment to have made that situation better?
I really do not know.
And I think even more so, like, what can we do in the future for the same kids that are being treated as badly as you, or even worse, for them to, you know, not have to resort to these things?
A lot of these kids don't really have anyone to talk to. I would say find someone to talk to. Just know you've got, just like, hope you have friends. And if you do have friends, thankfully you've got someone to go to, someone to talk to. You just have to, sometimes you do have to just lie down and deal with it, but you do meet people who are there for you more than the faculty can be, or sometimes even your parents could be, and more understanding, because people want to be socially accepted, not by their parents. Sometimes, like, they don't want their parents to be the only people that accept them.
Yeah.
They want to be accepted from people they feel like who don't have to conditionally love them.
Yeah.
Unconditionally love them.
Yeah.
They want people who will treat them like friends or family without having to be related. That's definitely how I saw a lot of it. To be accepted by people that aren't family more than being accepted by my own family, because I feel like it's just unconditional with the way I am. That, yes, my family's going to love me, but to an extent that doesn't matter because they're my family. They're meant to.
Yeah.
So what about these other people who I do want to...
be accepted by?
Yeah.
And I find that really, really hard, especially in an environment where, I mean, because it's not like you're the only one dealing with these shitty emotions. Like, everyone has to be a teenager. And so, because even I look back and I regret that maybe I wasn't as helpful to you, and that, and I wish that I could have, but at the same time, like, I don't even know what I was feeling then. You know, we were all going through some shit. And so it's like, it's hard to say, like, what... Yes, like, oh, yes, you kids should talk to one another. But at the same time, it's like, these kids don't know how to talk to one another.
Don't.
The kid that is secluded in the corner is just as unable to talk to anyone else as the popular kid who has never even had a real conversation with anyone.
Yeah, it's so it's just very confusing how to handle such a subject, because people really the secluded person just maybe just lacks the social skills, doesn't have the ability, doesn't know what to say, and maybe the person who wants to help chooses not to help. Like, if I can say anything, like, if you feel like there's a person who you think needs your help, needs someone to talk to, don't hesitate to do it just because of what people will say or think. Just go and talk to them. You never really know what other people are going through, and at least trying to understand it can kind of just give them a little bit more, can just ease their pain, ease their stress a little bit. Everyone needs to, those people need to be they need to know that they aren't alone. Really, because like they're in a field of shit. Like, in a field of shitty people, you will find someone, hopefully, like, definitely, who will understand you as a person, who will actually accept you and not see anything wrong with you.
And at the same time, in a field of shitty people, there's someone who's dealing with something worse. Like, if you think that you're dealing with something bad, like, someone else probably has something even worse. And if these people would just talk to each other about it, they would go, like,
they could find middle ground and really be friends off the... Like, they could, the shitty experiences really can help them understand each other and know that, they've got each other, or there's no reason to lash out at them. But some people don't really get the help or comfort they need through stuff like this.
And that's why we see so many
people
teen suicides or, like, violence, or, and it's gotten to the point where school shootings are a regular thing. So, I mean, like... And even in our school, we had, like, a Be the Change thing, and that was, like, to me, I just saw that as, like, oh, hey, like, all of these kids get to, like, oh, yeah, we are going through stuff. Work together, guys. And then for, like, a week, they're like, yeah, work together, and then they never actually reach out to anyone.
No, it's, like, that's just kind of a thing that you should be a part of, like, just regularly. Like, that should be... The whole Be the Change thing shouldn't just, like, we need to teach every student about, like, how, like, just how, like, as a broader way to say it, just being the change, just, they need to know just about learning good, like, having good and kindness and just using it for people. Like, it's weird how so many people don't utilize that, how it's seen as a weakness and stuff like that. No one really shows their kindness, and some people just kind of don't. They just show bitterness. It's just, I don't get it. It's that kind of stuff I just never really get.
And I mean, at some point, it does turn into, like, the person who is seeking out some love due to the bitterness that they've received. At some point, they're just gonna give the bitterness right back.
Yeah. That's usually how it goes. it's a cycle. But like, there's ways you can stop people from lashing out. There's a way you can stop that bitterness from ever exploding out of the person, and there are ways. It's just really just being there for them and talking them down, just kind of like sticking up for them. I mean, I get it. You can really have people be there for you and all that stuff, but you still can fall apart. Like, a lot of people also don't see that. No, you can have all the people care about you, but you can still fall apart just because it's your turmoil. Sometimes they can't feel what you're feeling in your head or in your body. So it's like, you have to be strong, but you would have to be strong for yourself and the other people, but the other people can help take the weight off of you as well. Yeah. If some people are willing to take the weight off of you and even deal with some of it themselves. Yeah. So.
And I mean, kind of going back to morality and stuff, is that because I've seen you have such a shitty experience, that I feel like that does sort of shape how you act towards other people, that you know what it's like to be treated like crap, and so it's like, I'm gonna not do that to that person.
Yeah, I can definitely say if we meet for the first time, you probably won't get shitty treatment, but don't fuck with me. I will treat you like shit if you just keep messing with me. Like, I had a few people in college who I literally despised more than anything. If there was like who would I save and who could I kill moment, they would not be saved, is all I can say. Like, there are instances like that where I hang out with them, but I despise their guts. It's just because, like, I'm not dealing with that crap from you, but I can deal with that crap from other people because I can tell there's no animosity there. It's like, it's all good and fun.
Good-natured,
Yeah, good-natured. And then there are just people who, just by their presence, just unsettling to me. That I don't want to be around them. There's just some people who paint that vision of themselves, and I'm just like, I don't want to be around you. I don't want anyone I care about being around you. So, that whole concept of morality, for the most part, for most people, I'm good. We're going to be cool. Like, a lot of people I can be cool with, but there are just some people who really just don't know how to just stop being an asshole. So, we can't be cool.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at that point, maybe you should probably just distance yourself from those people anyways. Okay, and sort of going forward from there, I think that you sort of having this experience allows you to sort of shape that, and sort of like with the content that you would be making, hopefully that you'll be able to provide a perspective that
I would like to. I would hope to provide a perspective. Maybe I couldn't provide a perspective. Maybe it'd be harder for me to do it just because I can't really word these things properly. But I would like to try to offer a little bit of experience, see how many people share my same views. I do like when people, I can talk to people about who share the same views with me about things. Just sometimes it's nice to have people who understand certain concepts, who feels a certain way about things that you do. It's just you don't have to like convert anyone to think that way. It's like, I think this is stupid. I think this is stupid too. Really? Why do you think it's stupid? Well, this is stupid because this is very stupid. It's very stupid because it's very stupid. Thank you. Yeah. So
that's what memes are for.
That's what memes are for. Thank God. That's one of the, if I were to do YouTube streaming and all that, that's one of the things I would like to feel.
And then, what is a perspective that you have that maybe a lot of people don't know about, or at least that you would like people to know about?
About what
your experience or whatever. Is there a shitty time in high school that like I did not get to be there or something?
There's a lot of shit through high school I'm glad you weren't there for. Same thing in middle school. I don't really know how to be able to share those experiences. It's just like like negative experiences I wish I didn't have, maybe that I should be thankful for having. Positive experiences is that I wish I had, like going to a theater and seeing the entire crowd react to Civil War when Ant-Man freaking did the thing. But like, I don't really have any experiences and just to really bring up that I can talk about.
Yeah.
Like in an open area like that.
And that's fine because, to one extent, it might be liberating to be like, this kid right here, he was a fucking asshole through high school, and, you know, but at the same time, we'll let them have their peace.
Yeah. Like if we're talking about that level of perspective, I got people. I got people I can just drag into this, but like in the positive outlook, I could say thankfully I had like you. I had my friend Jared who kind of looked at me like a younger brother. I had a Narian who was a very weird friend to have who was a senior. I had a few good people definitely, but a few people who I'm just like, fuck you. Forgot the dude's last name, but yeah, there's a dude named Christian. Fuck him. Fuck that dude to death. That guy can go suck a dick. But like, I really can't believe I forgot his last name, but I didn't give a shit about him, so that's why would I even care? But that was a bunch of sluts in school. Fuck them. God, like, one of our friends dated.
It's alright, man.
Straight to hell, let me tell you. They go straight to hell. There's still a few people who I'm glad I know that I ended up going to college with after high school and meeting also at tournaments, who I went to high school with. So I could also say I'm glad I met them all too.
Yeah.
So, but there's a lot of fuck yous to give out.
Yeah.
So I just don't have the time.
All right, and then, geez, how do I? Well, I guess I do want to ask a little bit of your perspective, if any, being a black and Pakistani person in the world, because I'm brown and my experience surprisingly hasn't really been like,
It's very weird.
But for you, how has that shaped sort of your experience with cops or whatever? I don't know.
Thankfully, most of the time I've ever had to deal with cops is they've all been black or Hispanic, so I never really had to have that judgment, that stipulation, that fear in my in the back of my head.
Yeah.
The growing up being called sand nigger a lot definitely sticks with you, but some of it's good-natured joking, and some of it actually was actual, holy crap, this dude really meant to call me a nigger. I haven't really had that many racist experiences in my life that really are traumatizing or stick to me, because when anyone really is racist to me by just calling me a sand nigger or a nigger or telling me to go back, I'm just like, you're stupid. I'm just gonna walk away. I'm like, you don't affect me. I just laugh at you. Like, you call me, like, I mean, like, if you're really, like, don't get me wrong. If you call me a nigger and I kick your ass, hey, you had it coming.
Sure.
If you call any black guy a nigger or an Asian dude a chink or anything like that, get your ass whooped. You had that coming. Like, it's just like, don't be racist. I'm like, I don't get why you're racist. I get bad experiences or your parents are racist fuckers and all of that. I get it, okay? My mom's got this kind of stipulation thing about white people, right? It's just like, I just don't get the whole racism thing anymore. Like, I get everyone's a little racist inside. Everyone's a little racist inside. Let's go. Let's acknowledge that. We all have our certain biases and races, but going to the point to where you literally alienate yourself from an entire other race or just hate another race. Because, like, you know, like, I am a little racist inside, too, around just a lot of other races. It's just kind of like a thing that happens to everybody. But it's like, I
mean, stereotypes come from somewhere.
I still don't get where the chicken one came from. Because, I mean, I don't even like fried chicken anymore unless my mom cooks it. Beside the point. It's like we all have these views of certain races and stereotypes in a way. And, like, we all have these cautionary things about them because of how they look at the time or are perceived. So I get it, we all have that. But like to go to the point to where you say get out of our country or hang them or they're against God or all of that stuff is like stupid.
Yeah.
And it's sad. They're very sad people if they're like that. Like if you're just yeah, it's just very weird. If you have to call someone a nigger or any real racial term just to offend them,
yeah,
sad as a very sad is not the word I would want to use, but yeah, like it's like
yeah,
like if I was ever mad at you, I couldn't just call you any derogatory term for a Hispanic person.
Yeah.
You know, like if I was mad at an Asian person, I wouldn't just call him Christ killer. I hope someone gets that joke. I wouldn't, call a Jew anything derogatory or make a Holocaust thing. Like, I don't want to say that to them, like, in any form of hateful passion. Like,
yeah.
I couldn't,
Yeah.
like, just, why would you? That's just racist.
Yeah.
It's just douchey.
Well, I mean, gladly we've been raised, hopefully, in a slightly better culture where we understand that racism is just bad in general.
It's just bad, yeah. Like, I get it. Everyone's still got their, like, thoughts
Yeah.
about certain races and stereotypes, but, like, it shouldn't really stop
Yeah.
them from... Because I've got a few things about Mexicans in my head that, yeah, but I'm not going to stop talking to, like, a Hispanic culture altogether. I'm not going to think they're all like that, but I have to understand that sometimes...
Yeah.
Sometimes with every race, really, it's just
Yeah.
it's that kind of thing.
Yeah. Do you think that there would be any hurdles or whatever being African American and Pakistani that like you might face, or do you think that at this point that sort of discrimination is
maybe
mostly gone?
I think in the future it could still be a problem, like potentially maybe getting a job or just the fact that my name, how would I really like mentioning my name to certain people, maybe even just going from airports to like fly from place to dating a white girl and meeting her parents, just Asian girl meeting her parents, also that too, like just it can just cause the regular problems that really being a minority that comes with. Just those problems in general. Probably like, but since again I'm mixed, certain problems can arise more in certain areas than they would in others. It's like you would have to play a card at a certain time.
Yeah. How do you feel about the recent political situation, and how do you think that affects you?
Define the political situation.
Donald Trump has been elected president.
Oh, dude, that is, don't let this president cause you to get your ass whooped is all I'm going to say. Don't let this president be the reason you got your ass whooped, because let me tell you, that's been a lot of things happening now. A lot of supporters say something racist, and they get their ass whooped, and I don't feel sorry for them. Trump being our president, it was a lesser of two evils choice. I personally hate to talk about it. This dude's doing a bunch of stupid things as it is already. Hiring a bunch of xenophobes and racists and people who have been who have been fired from previous positions for a lot of racist, anti-Semitic statements. And, like, people don't really acknowledge that when they voted for him. Now that they don't really see some of the stuff he's doing now that he's the elect. And a lot of the controversy that could be potentially surrounding him, a lot of his illegal practices, and just how he's really trying to line his pockets as much as he can. And how, he is just probably going to be a crappy president altogether.
But I mean, how does it affect you?
Hasn't affected me yet, thankfully. I'll let you know when it's affected me. But for now, it hasn't affected me yet as a person. So, or as in society. So, so far, I'm good.
Yeah. And I'm glad because I have concerns in general, and I have concerns for myself and my safety, and
same.
my name is Santiago Ramones, but
Yeah.
it's almost scarier for you because your name is Bilal Zeeshan Najam.
Yep.
And so, like, that just, to some dude in Alabama, that just sounds terrorist as fuck. So,
The moment people found that Hussein in Obama,
yeah.
ooh.
So, I mean, be careful where you go.
Yeah. Be careful where you go. If you start seeing pickup trucks, turn around.
And I mean, there's again, there's that slight level of racism in all of us. To yes, it's still racism.
The moment you see a Confederate flag on the back of someone's truck, get the fuck away.
Yeah.
To me, that's like a swastika. That's like a swastika to me. The Confederate flag. Yeah, I don't fuck with that. I don't think people should be raising that shit up in their home. Like, it's a symbol of heritage. No, that heritage was to hold slaves, and that's why you left. It's that kind of stupid crap. That it just can't be. What heritage does the Confederate flag hold other than the right to keep black people as slaves working in the field? It's just like I can't see it as anything else.
But come on, that's states' rights.
To hold slaves. Where we're going with this. So that's how I feel about the Confederate flag real quick.
Lastly, of course, what advice do you have for people?
Man, like, if you really want to try to, like, man, I don't know. I'm never a good advice person.
You gave some earlier, actually.
Yeah, don't be a dick. Just try to be, to an extent, there are people you need to be patient with. Sometimes you never know what they're going through. Give people a chance, at least once. Just try to be kind to them, understanding to them, and don't be quick with them. Try to really understand that person and understand if this is the person you want to keep in your life or not. Like just the whole social life in general is just something hard to really keep with, especially now. Just try to be quick and just try to be understanding with people and not be quick. Just understand everybody has their baggage, some more than others, and you need to let them understand that it's all right to put that baggage onto a friend if they're willing to accept it. Yeah. So, also don't be a dick to people. Yeah. That's that. Unless,
Sweet. Z, again, thank you for being here, for sharing that, and where can we, I guess, add you on Xbox or PS4?
Oh, Chris. Thankfully, both. If anyone here plays Xbox One, and whenever I get the time, I really won't be on that console much. PS4, if you ever want to add me on that, personally add me on Xbox because I'm on that more. It is ShiraiRyuZee, S-H-I-R. I'm not going to be able to spell that off the top of my head. Let me go to my... Also, if you want to find me on Twitter, real quick, look up Mr. Zeeshan. It is also under the same tag as my gamer tag. So if you want to find me on Xbox, PlayStation, or Twitter, it's ShiraiRyuZee, ShiraiRyuZee. No spaces at all. So, cool. No spaces. Yeah. And that's how you'll find me on Twitter, Xbox, and PlayStation.
Get your ass kicked by Takeda.
On Mortal Kombat.
That will be a good way. Or if you feel like you can take him, please try and improve my friend's skills here.
Or if you want to follow me on Twitter and just see some ragey tweets every now and then, because like Mortal Kombat X has some very unbelievably poor designs. Or just tweet me and just conversate, then we can do that. Yeah.
Cool. And I am Santiago Ramones. You can find everything that I do. I make music, and I have this podcast on my website, SantiagoRamones.com. You can also, I haven't said this yet, and I've been meaning to, leave reviews on iTunes. Apparently that helps, like, metrics and stuff. And so, I know there aren't many of you listening, but it helps reviews and stuff to have this podcast be seen. And if it's had a positive influence on your life, let me know and talk to me.
Support the man.
Yeah.
Do the things.
And I always end every podcast with my 3 things of my religion or advice, if you will, which is love never fails. It's going to be okay. I might be wrong. Thanks for listening.